Something is off with the Eagles. And I'm sure it's happened before, but I can't remember a team that was so elite for so long in a given season and just had the bottom fall out, losing 4 out of 5, could have been 6 out of 7. We felt it coming before it came. 4 out of 5 losses, and they are going to be limping into the playoffs. Whatever happens against the Giants on Sunday, they're going to be limping into the playoffs, and it's just a bad vibe hanging around this team. And a lot of people won't be surprised if they're one and done, even if that means losing to the none of the above NFC South champion.
Yeah, I think, again, you lose that way to the Arizona Cardinals, right? The second to last week of the regular season, yeah, anybody could beat you. You're at home, right? Number 2 seed, NFC East title is on the line, and you get pushed around and dominated, by an Arizona Cardinal football team. No, there's no doubt, right? Something is going to have to change drastically that we don't see coming. That is going to change what the Philadelphia Eagles look like or how we view them. But right now, the offense has been struggling and had not been quite as good as we saw last year. And the defense is being totally obliterated down the stretch here to where it was the most unbelievable defensive front, and some of the things they were doing early in the year, it seemed like it was impossible to do certain stuff against them. Now, everybody's running on the ball on them. Everybody's throwing the ball on them. So, yeah, there's a lot of issues there in Philadelphia, and certainly didn't see it coming to this extent. Even when they were 10-1 and I was going, it's not great. They're not playing good. I didn't think it was going to fall off like this. This is another level of, disaster here the last 4 to 5 weeks.
Here's A.J. Brown talking to reporters about the fact that he did not talk to reporters after Sunday's loss to the Cardinals. Have a listen.
The reason why I didn't speak to the media after the game because, I didn't want to be negative, I had already transitioned to the mindset where we were going through a tough time. And so me personally, the person I am, who just know I just have to go back to work, and ain't nothing I could do about it, and like I said after the game, I said I was raised, if I had nothing nice to say, I'm not going to say nothing at all. I'm not trying to make it worse than what it is. And so, and then on top of that, everything that I do, if I say something, I do anything, I'm classified as a monster, honestly, and it's honestly the opposite, You saw my frustration on the field. It wasn't about the play call. It wasn't about none of that. It was about my guy getting banged up. And I'm gonna need Smitty moving forward. It took me a couple of days to realize, my teammates are answering questions on my behalf. I can speak for myself. I'm a man. So yeah.
You mentioned that the Devontae's injury was a reason for frustration at that moment. Have there been other reasons for frustration that you've seen?
Of course. I think that's another thing too. Another thing why I wanted to apologize too, because all you see is A.J. Brown frustrated with the Eagles, AJ this, AJ that, but everybody in his locker room is frustrated. So why are you singling me out because I'm frustrated? Just because I'm shaking my head, I'm showing emotion. You can look at everybody in the stadium has bad body language. They're frustrated, And so, I wanted to clear that up because it's not about me. We're all frustrated.
That's a great explanation by A.J. Brown. And as he was explaining that, it reminded me of what someone told me once when both Randy Moss and Terrell Owens were under consideration for the Hall of Fame, and there was a lot of criticism of how they conducted themselves. Different guys, different ways of behaving in a way that rubbed people the wrong way. And somebody pointed out to me, during his heyday, Jerry Rice, the PR staff of the 49ers, they knew, they could sense it coming when he was going to go off after a game. They got him the hell out of there before he had a chance to go off.
Right.
So there was never a time where you viewed Jerry Rice as anything other than team first, everything's fine, everything's great, because they always got the bomb out of the locker room before the bomb went off. And that's kind of what A.J. Brown was trying to do. Let me get out of here. Let me not say anything, because nothing I say at this point is going to be good for anybody, including me.
Yeah. It's a wise move when you're feeling that, hot, intense, whatever, right? Where you might spout off and say something you regret. Okay, don't say anything. Think it out. Let things calm down a little bit. I'm not mad at him for that, certainly. I don't question where A.J. Brown's heart is. A.J. Brown, we've seen some things on camera or whatever else, but he's never been a diva. I mean, A.J. Brown was the star receiver for the Mike Vrabel run the ball 75 times to Derrick Henry. He's never been one to really do any of that. He's always shown that, hey, I'll be patient and wait my turn. I just want to win the football games. So this is not like, I don't think anything in the case of maybe some of the antics we saw from maybe a Randy Moss or a Terrell Owens back in the day. I don't. Now, listen, is he going to be looked at a little more closely than most guys? Yeah, A.J. Brown, you're a superstar. The camera's on you more than any other player on the Philadelphia Eagles other than Jalen Hurts. So when you shake your head or show bad body language, that's what the public's really seeing, unless you're in the stadium at the game. And I think he needs to understand that too. But, all in all, I don't question where A.J. Brown's heart is. He's a superstar football player. He's frustrated, and I don't think he's gone overboard with, making it about me or being a distraction by any sense of the imagination. And, I don't blame him for not talking after the game. It's hard sometimes, and it means a lot to a lot of these guys in the locker room, despite what people say sometimes where they're like, oh, they're pros, they're getting paid a lot, they don't care as much. And I want to go, no, these are the guys that led your college team and care the most. You're absolutely wrong.
The counter to that is the league rules require all players to be available
I hear
once
that.
during the week
Right.
and after every game.
Right.
And the whole idea is, and it's funny because fans who are the intended beneficiaries of this policy, they will side with the team and side with the player. The whole idea is you want the media to have access to these guys when things are fresh, so you get the most thoughtful and most real and raw reaction to the things that happen during the games. But it goes on from time to time, and it's only an issue if the local media makes it an issue or if the national media makes an issue, and everybody's kind of making it an issue with A.J. Brown. Here he is asked the question of whether he is upset about the number of targets. And before we play that, remember this. He had 6 straight games of 125 or more passing yards, set the league record. That's a distant memory. The numbers aren't there now. So, are you upset, AJ, about the number of targets you're getting currently?
Honestly, man, I don't even ask for the ball in the game. I don't even talk to Brian. I don't say nothing to nobody. Like, Smitty is the one vocal. He's the more vocal one. Y'all don't even see that. But I don't say nothing during the game. I don't ask for the ball, But if a wide receiver says anything, then he's classified as a diva. He's want the ball. No, maybe I'm holding my teammates accountable. Like we have those tough conversations. But if a quarterback does it, then don't nobody say nothing. But if a receiver does it, then it's the end of the world. But that is what it is, and I can't control that. I know who I am, and I try to push my teammates, and I'm not gonna change who I am, and that's what it is. Like I said last year, if you throw me the ball 105 times, I'm gonna win 106 times. That's me as a wide receiver because I feel like I could change the game in a moment. But if I don't get the ball, all right, he may felt like that was best. So there's nothing I can do about it. Like I said, I was not mad about the call or whatever. I was upset at my partner going down. I saw he got rolled up. And now, because I know I'm going to need Smitty down the stretch. So that's what it was. And people may not believe that, but I don't care, man. It's at this point, I don't care. I don't care. They're going to create whatever narrative and, they're going to split in the locker room and all this shit. That's bullshit.
I really do appreciate the candor from A.J.
too.
Brown. He's a likable guy.
He is.
He's a great player.
Right.
He can't throw the ball to himself.
That's right.
And that's not a knock on Jalen Hurts. The offense isn't getting him the ball. And, I said this earlier in the week. Great receivers, people think they're selfish when they want the ball. No, they believe that the path to winning is getting the ball in the hands of the best player on the field. And you got to believe you're the best player on the field. To even be in the argument for best player on the field, you've got to believe that unquestionably you are the best player on the field. That's how it works. He wants a team to win, and he thinks the team wins by getting him the ball.
You're exactly right. I've been around those guys, right? I was with Roy Williams at Texas. He was the number 7 pick in the draft. If we won a series or two and he didn't get the ball, he was going to say something to the wide receiver coach and then make his actions known. And it wasn't about, I want the ball because it's me, me, me. It's going because we didn't go down and score the touchdown or do anything the last 2 drives, and I'm the best player on the offense. Joey Galloway, superstar receiver. I played with him in Tampa Bay, right? He had a little different approach. He was a little more quiet about it, didn't say a whole lot, but certainly could tell with mannerisms or his face, like, hey, he wants the ball, definitely. And he'd kind of get in your ear in a different way, right, than maybe making a statement on the sidelines or getting a little upset. But still, it was all about, I just want the ball because I'm the best player in the offense. Give me the ball. Brandon Marshall, I've told you stories about him. I mean, his head would be ready to pop off sometimes. His veins would be out here. And again, it wasn't about just, oh, I want the ball because I want receptions and it means something to my contract. Yeah, I mean, sure, that's in there a little, but it's more about, hey, I'm the guy that can make things happen for this football team. And, hey, look, when I was the guy making things happen for the football team, we were a lot better offense, and then everybody starts to click and work. So that's where that comes from, let alone like you're saying. I mean, A.J. Brown's the best athlete on the Eagles football team. He's a freak. The receiver, the star receiver on a football team is usually the best athlete, the most freakiest, gifted, explosive person on the team, and he's that. And that's where that comes from. But I think with A.J. Brown, it all comes from a good place. It's not like a receiver throwing a quarterback or an offensive coordinator under the bus complaining that way.
One of the reasons we thought that might be the case, the hostage video from Nick Sirianni earlier this week included Sirianni tiptoeing around anything about A.J. Brown. You'd have to ask him that. You'd have to ask him. So they asked him yesterday about his relationship with his head coach, Nick Sirianni. Have a listen to that.
That may be things that Nick probably want to fix about himself, and I'll say, but the one thing I can't respect, loyalty is not one of them. And I say that because he takes up for us when it has nothing to do with him, and he gets the blame, but that comes with his job, and sometimes Jalen does the same thing. And just like Brian, he get the wrong end of the stick sometimes when it be us. But because like I said today, the coaches played 0 snaps this year. It is not the coaches. It is us. People say I'm beefing with Nick. I'm not mad at Nick. I'm not mad at nobody. Like we have a great relationship. Like I said, I got a ton of respect for Nick. Cause like I said, he take up for us when it be us, And I even said, for example, I'm gonna get detailed. For example, I know that's what y'all want anyway, but I'm I'm gonna get detailed. Like for the Seattle game, that was on us. Like we messed that up. We improvised and we went on our own. And Nick came out and said, "Oh, I wanted to try to get a flag or something crazy like that." It's like he really made himself look like a fool for us. I have nothing but respect for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all coaches do that.
So it sounds like everything is good as it relates to the relationship between Nick Sirianni and his players, but clearly something is broken with the Eagles. They got a lot to do to get it together. The clock is ticking, not on Week 18, on the wild card round. They got to figure this stuff out for the wild card round, and if they don't win the division, they end up the 5 seed. The reward, if they do win in the wild card round, most likely is going to be a return against San Francisco, the team that beat them 42-19 in their own building. So it just feels like there's a hard cap on what the Eagles are going to do this year. They could surprise us.
Yeah.
Hey, they wouldn't be the first team who went to San Francisco and surprised us, but it feels like they got a lot of work to do to get to the point where they can pull it off.
It definitely does. It does. But they got, players in that locker room, as we've talked about, that are special across the board on both sides of the ball to where, I don't expect like a Super Bowl run here from the Eagles. I don't. But again, I don't want to ever count them out because of that talent and the pedigree they have on their team. And they did show us early in the year they can win a lot of tough, gritty football games. So let's see if they can regain some of that magic here. But right now, it certainly does look lost, and they don't look anything like the team we saw last year that we thought was really clearly the best team in football, and it really wasn't even a discussion until maybe the 49ers came in the NFC Championship game and went, oh, this might be the first time in a while the Eagles could maybe lose a football game. That's how dominant they were.
And like we said about the Dolphins at the start of the show, you bottom out and you hope you have enough time to dig out. Do the Eagles have enough time to dig out and get hot and have an opportunity to compete with the 49ers or maybe the Cowboys or maybe both by the time it's all said and done? Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.